Hello, everybody. Hello to you all, viewers, listeners on Vosaworld Radio. It is Saturday morning again, and so it's a new show and a different kind of show because you can see rarely do we have this number of people on any given show. Sometimes it's two, sometimes it's just me, maybe three, not five wonderful faces here. If you have a good memory, then you remember that a year ago, about this same time, it was all about cast. Not just the entire cast, but this special cast group of 81 to 83 stars. We call ourselves stars because that's exactly what we are. We shine. You don't believe us? Stay tuned. You're going to hear more and more of why we deserve that title. Why I hear from good sources that the principal of Cast BAMBILI right now calls us the Etofis. The Etofis group of Cast BAMBILI alumni. So I have a distinguished panel with me here, and I'll start going. I would have done clockwise, but I think I should do the courtesy thing and have the one other lady on this panel introduce herself first. So go ahead and tell us who you are and what position you occupy in this specific unique group.
Oh, my name is Rolindis Oyebog, and I live in Minnesota, United States of America, and I am the Secretary General of Cast 81 Stars.
Welcome to the show. And then I'll go now and continue clockwise with the gentleman coming all the way from somewhere where he'll tell us. And so he is, I don't want to say what his position is, so let him go ahead and you'd hear for your own selves. So top right there, who are we talking to?
Well, everybody, thanks for having me. My name is Minang Peter. I am the president of the Cast 8183 group, this special group of cast stars.
Where are you coming to us from?
I'm talking to you from Lee.
I think you froze for a second. Is it just me? No, you froze for a tiny second. You're telling us that you're coming to us from where?
Limbe, Cameroon.
All the way, all the way. And then I'll continue down the way here. Let's talk to the person with the headphones on, with the sprinkling of gray on his beard.
Right, this is Lord Wells, Andy Wells. I was born in Boya, grew up in Great Support. I now live in Liverpool in the UK. I'm actually the public relations officer for our Cast 81 association.
Awesome, awesome. And then last but not least on this group, on this panel, who do we have with us?
My name is Edney Mukurindumbe. I am the vice president of the association, and I am talking to you from the UK in London.
There you go. So you already have an idea about how widespread we all are across the world. Of course, I'm coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. And my name is Egbembiwan Munjimbo, and it's my pleasure to actually just moderate. The people who are going to do the talking, who are going to give you the information, are right here, and I'm just going to go from person to person and have them jump in. Remember, this is not an interview as such, it's just a chat. So the first thing I'm going to ask about, okay, this is a group. Does it have a mission? Does it have goals? Does it have a vision? Or are we just a group, Njangi group, that just is run by the seat of our pants? How exactly do things work in this group? Who wants to take that? Maybe the president or presidente.
Well, let me say, it's a group with a mission. Right. The mission is simple: to reconnect, bring back our classmates of 1981 to think about their days in Cast BAMBILI and what they have become 41 years after. Giving back to the people, helping each other, you know, just having fun at this time of our lives. I like to call it the twilight.
The twilight years.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Anybody else want to add something about what they think this is, where this is going, the structure of it? Because we've had people here. We have the president, we have the vice president, we have the PRO, we have the secretary general. Are there any other members of the executive, or is that it?
One of the things that we're doing as the group actually is to support our friends. A PowerPoint on this group of 81 stars is to actually solidarity program. We support each other, support our friends, support groups, also to give back to CASP and also to inspire each other and the younger ones that are behind to carry on with whatever we are doing and leave the same legacy behind for CAST.
Right. So, okay, now we talked about people being in different parts of the world. So how exactly does that work? So is it only a, how would I call it, a virtual group? Is that how it is? Just a virtual group, which means just Zoom? Or how does that work?
Well, I'll take that if you want, right?
Okay.
It's not really just limited on Zoom. Like now we are reaching out to each other via a Zoom for this meeting, but we do meet like in Cameroon, the group in Bamenda, for example, they meet every month. They meet physically, they share stories among themselves, and they have some form of entertainment, okay? And for me, the most fascinating thing is there are many, many, many of our classmates that I didn't really know well at CAST BAMBILI. But now, I mean, I'm speaking to them as if we had been like friends, not just classmates, okay? And there's that opportunity for networking, which this presents, okay? I mean, I've heard of stories where one of us had their maybe daughters or sons in another country, and because one of us was there, it was as if that child had their parents there, which was really, really good. And other things, for example, one of our stars, one of our classmates came here, which before this association started, I wouldn't have even known that she was here. But just because she was here, we made that effort to meet in person. And when we met, it was as if we had known each other for like 40, 41 years, which, I mean, that camaraderie amongst us was just electric.
Right. Even now I'm willing to jump in and attest to that, because now I go to, what we will need to understand is that we have a WhatsApp group where we keep in touch pretty much on a daily basis. There's not been a single day since that group was started more than a year ago where it has been silent for any given day. No, never. Christmas, somebody's posting. New Year's Day, somebody's posting. Emojis are flying back and forth. So we kind of know each other and may not have necessarily seen each other, but then we know about each other and kind of where we reside. That's how come somebody can say, okay, I see Lord Andy there in Liverpool. I'm going to be there. And they can contact him behind the scenes and say, I'm coming in your direction. And then the arrangement is made. Next thing we see pictures. Cocky on the table, dodo everywhere, chicken, and somebody's husband or somebody's wife is popping champagne. And that has happened. That's how come not long ago I went to the DC area there when the chief of Boya was coming to visit. And I went in there, and next thing I know, Achembo Vincent is coming and says, hey, and I look at him and I scream. That was the first time I was seeing him. And I scream and we hug each other there, and it became something else. And it's because of the group. There are many people I don't remember quite well from Bambili itself, but since we've come together as a group, now we are aware of each other and we are just closer. So it has brought us definitely closer. So the history of the group, somebody, if the Vice President wants to give us a little recap in case somebody was not watching a year ago. What is the history, a brief history of the group? How did this come into being? Yes, we were in Bambili 81 to 83, but then that's 41 years ago. So was it just the Big Bang and then here and it happened, or how did this happen?
I think to answer that question, I think it felt a bit like the Big Bang, because at the start of last year, two wise men got together and thought, oh, we need to try and reconnect with guys. You know, it's been 40 years since anything happened, and I think the same thought happened this side of the Atlantic as it happened in Cameroon, and I think it was January when the minds met and we all decided that WhatsApp was the way forward, and people started adding others to the group or sending invitations for people to join the WhatsApp group, and suddenly there was this. It really felt like the Big Bang, because there was such energy in the space when everybody just started reconnecting, posting photos of themselves now so that we could recognize them, or old photos so you can try and marry the gray hairs and the young teenager. So I think that was yeah. So that then evolved from that to us trying to celebrate the fact that it's been 40 years. Because if I recall correctly, about 10 years ago, we muted about meeting up for the 30th anniversary, and that never quite happened.
Right.
That was around 2011. So this was an ideal opportunity to try and do something else. And that whole energy came into the space, and everybody got together. We started looking at ways of, you know, raising funds to have this celebration, organizing things. But as part of just reconnecting with people, we also met other classmates who were not as fortunate as some of us had been. And so that then kickstarted a solidarity program for us to assist them in making sure that they were in a much better place. So that then evolved into, that was incorporated into one of the mission statements of the organization to help our classmates who've been less fortunate. The other thing as part of the celebrations was, of course, the Inspire Before We Expire program, which in a way was our way of giving back, because lots of people remembered being inspired by others who had come to maybe talk to them when they were in school.
Right.
That then kickstarted this whole process of, you know, how do we do it? What should we do? We had a limited amount of time, so we designed a series of radio programs. Vosaworld became hugely important for that. We had talks in schools. We had, you know, some programs to carry out tests to inform better other people about the youth about health issues. So yeah, so that's, and in a way, what our vision, our mission sort of evolved from those things that we were doing, and we've now tried to incorporate that into a more structured organization. So it's the long answer to that question.
Oh no, a long but very necessary answer to the question, so that people can understand where we're going. Because the number of people, anybody have a closer idea? Anybody checked lately to see about how many are we on that WhatsApp group there? How many are we? Who has checked lately? I haven't. How many?
I know it's in about 140 or so. That's, yeah, it was about that sort of number the last time.
Which is amazing.
Kind of close, yeah.
It's about a third. It's about a third of the intake, because I think the intake was about 450 in 1981. So it's about a third of that intake.
And it's important for people to hear that, because you see, most of us who went to maybe a boarding school or whatever school you went to for secondary school, because you went through that for 5 good years, that's where the ties seem to be. Big C, Boban, Soban, Lords, that kind of group. You'll be there for 5 years, especially if you're in a dormitory living together there. The bonding happens over 5 years, and people understand that. It's very rare for you to see people who belong to a group where they were in a school, that the common denominator is just the school where they were there for just 2 years. Most people just go right by. First year passes by, second year passes by, you go and you don't remember anybody. Since the school is that big, and then everybody S1, S2, S3, S4, A1, A2, A3, A4. Most people that I know who went to Ccast BAMBILI just only remember the exact people they came to that school with from their secondary school. But this is amazing about this particular 81 to 83 group, how close they have stayed to each other and how connected that they are. I find that really amazing. To have 140 plus getting together and doing what we are doing there is really something amazing. The camaraderie, like somebody had already used that word, the solidarity. Somebody else used that word, is really amazing, amazing to see. So we had, when we came together, it was mostly focused on that 40th anniversary, which happened in October last year, right? We're calling it October Rush, and then the disco boom, using the terms that we used when we were in BAMBILI. And so that happened, and it was a big deal. Looking at this panel sitting right here, there are 2 people who were there present live. So let's go to the current president and ask him, so what was it like, that reunion, the physical reunion it happened in Yaoundé last year. What was that like? Edney was there too, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay, yes, you and I actually were watching.
We were watching.
We were watching on Zoom. But that was there. What was it like to actually see people?
it's hard to use words to describe it. It was electric. It was magical. I mean, I've never felt anything like that. After 41 years, and you meet people, you like you're in kindergarten again, playing, you know, it was awesome. I never felt anything like that. You know, look, the 81 class of Cast BAMBILI is a special group of people. I don't know how God put them together, but man, we are awesome. That particular meet at Honorable Seron's house was magical. You had to be there to feel it. I know even you were watching by the Zoom. I think you felt the energy.
Yes.
You felt the energy. It was real.
Mm-hmm.
It was real. And I think that's why it's going to go even stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, the bond is there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yes. At the time, we really were just playing it by ear, just going and playing it by ear. But now, like you heard, people had all these positions were not necessarily existing at the time, or not formally at the time. Even the person that we had as our pioneer president was not kind of, but since that time we've had elections and actually had everybody you see here now is not just some interim kind of person. There was an actual election and all of these positions happened. So I'm talking about, so how has the group moved from October 2021 to now? It's another October 2022. So what has changed? What has happened that is different? Lord Andy, you're going to say something. What is different?
Right. I think what's one thing that we didn't talk about was that database that we did.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we started, at some point we were about 130 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we asked people to, if you like, volunteer in their information, which we'll use to create the database. And for me, it was so fascinating that out of about 130 people, we had about like nearly 80 people who sent in that information. And there's quite a lot of work that people are putting that into use. I mean, people are looking at it and ringing up people and say, oh, can we do this? It's just that those are like private, if you like, enterprise or engagements that people are doing. So we don't get to know them. But
Yes.
I get to know what's going on, because some people say to me that, oh, thank God you guys put the database together, you know. And it was just a simple idea, which our first president, may he rest in peace, he came up with that idea because I said to him that we can think of something like, say, yes, that's exactly what I also wanted to do. And can you do it? That's how I got started doing it. Okay, so, and people are looking at it and say, oh, I'm thinking of starting maybe a school. And then they find somebody that was already running a school, and then they team up together and they share ideas.
Yes.
You know, which I think is really, really good. I think that also has been, if you like, one of the strengths of our association, because people don't talk about it, but they use it in the background. I mean, 2 weeks ago, somebody said to me, oh, I know it's somewhere in the forum, on WhatsApp forum, but can you just send me a copy of it? You know, so I had to just go into my folder and send them that copy. So that's just a testament that it's working.
Yeah, it's like our own personal internal LinkedIn. So you go, you need a service done, you go there and look for the resources that are available, as he said, and make the connections. Yeah. So, or like LinkedIn, where you see somebody and you're like, okay, well, what they say there is what they say, and it may be they're not necessarily well vetted. We are here and we know ourselves, and you kind of know that, okay, here is Miss Oyebok right there. She actually does have a charity she's doing there. She has the children in Bambui there that she's looking after. You want to do charity, you can go help the people in the orphanage right there. She also has a university out there in Douala. You have your person whether to send to a school that you believe is trustworthy. Well, you know the proprietress, and you believe that whatever she's doing is going to be something viable. Somebody's heading to Boya. Well, that's the president right there. He owns St. Clair's. I'm looking at him there. I know him. I've known him for 40 years. I know I'm going to go there. Nothing but the best. Excellent service is going to come my way. That's just kind of like what he says, how it works. But we have that pool together, as the president said. It's an amazing group of fantastic people, phenomenal people in all fields, pretty much the best at what they do. So I'm hoping never to fall in any legal trouble, but if I do, I know I know that I can go find myself some good old lawyers right there who work with the highest, the best, Harvard trained the whole 9 years, and say, hey, you'd best with me, you're going to have to deal with my team. I have my team of one here to back me up. So that's the whole, what we're talking about, what he means by that database, if anybody wasn't sure what we were referring to. There's been that. Somebody has already mentioned the solidarity thing where we really helps to get, and just even the idea of reaching out. Because for some people, they've gotten to that mental space where besides the actual chemical imbalances that they may be having to go to deal with, the idea of being lonely and isolated is also part of the issue. So when you see your friends, your classmates reach out, come to you and mix with you, associate with you, it already was a good part of the healing or rehabilitation process. And then somebody did mention it, so we should go there. Since 2021 up to now, we have lost some members. I don't know who wants to address that unhappy part. I'll put it on Edney.
I can, yes. So as well, we know, and some of your listeners would know, Atsa, who was our pioneer president, he passed away early this year, which was a bit of a shock, in January this year, which was a bit of a shock to us because he had so much energy. He had so much energy, and he was very key in pulling all of us together. You know, you needed that one person who had enough energy, because individually none of us had that level of energy like he had, and he was just naturally gifted with just bringing people together. Right. So sadly, he passed away in January, and in some ways that was a catalyst for people to come together, because there were even more stars at his funeral than even at the party. Because I actually went over to Cameroon and I met so many people. It was a bittersweet moment, lots of ways, because we were crying for our brother, but also happy to see each other. Correct. After such a long time. So you know, that I think it was quite a shock to us, and it did take us a while to recover from it and to sort of pick ourselves up. And say, fine, okay, we can't let him down. He has set this huge vision for all of us. So let's sort of pick ourselves up and carry on and on that road, which is you know, we're getting there, and thankfully we have another highly energetic person, Peter, who has taken the bull by the horns, and it's you know, it's not easy to bring lots of people together to keep them, you know, reasonably content and all of us and focused. It's always a challenge, and I think he's been quite successful at doing that. So yeah. Right, and we did lose a couple more members. Some of them who were not even necessarily part of the group as such, but we still reached out. Anytime we heard about the passing of a classmate, and even family of a classmate, I haven't seen any time when not at least one or two people took the time to go over there and be present on behalf of all of us. I cannot count the number. People have lost their parents, because we're at the time now where we're pushing on 60. If you have your parents still left, good for you, because most of us do not. And so those that are still passing away now, you are blessed to have your classmates come around you there. And sometimes, unfortunately, we had the case even of a grandchild. So and people were there, always there's somebody there in the joyful situations, in the unhappy ones. People came, and I can testify. I went home in November of last year. It was a celebration for my parents, and I had a number of there. It was in Limbe, and I had people from Boya, Douala, and the rest come on over there. So that's what happens. And when you come home too, not only do they come to the occasion that you are organizing, they actually tend to make receptions wherever they can to receive you. It was something else. Mine happened in Douala for Beatrice Mensah-Tayu and myself, who were visiting Cameroon around the same time. That happened in Douala. For Relindis, it happened in every city pretty much.
Just say, angel in the church.
Well, yes, I had a fabulous time. I will say that I have a fabulous time. One of my best years going to visiting Cameroon. I mean, I started in Douala. I had a big party over in Douala. I ate the best fish, drank the best wine. And boy, I was like, what? She's getting this much? And then.
Sorry, I think we lost her briefly. And she will be coming on back, but I can testify to that because we see that's the thing where we know and we're all laughing because we see the pictures. So we may not be there, but the pictures are posted on the forum. So we get to see the pictures and see what all of what is going on there. So she's right about that. Anytime you show up there, they're ready to give you show you a good old time. And in any place where you go where there are stars, mostly there's Douala, there's Boya, there's Bamenda, Yaoundé. You're going to find people there who are glad to see you. Genuinely happy to see you. Let me let her on back in.
It's also Ohio.
Yes, and it happens out here too now because the meetings are here. They may not be as often, but the city of aviation.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
In Ohio.
Relindis did start all of this, because she's got that magic touch.
Exactly.
If you got a large tummy and she touches it, that's the angel, and it just goes.
That's what we call it.
So that's why they even wanted her at Bang Balang.
Yes, and why they are eager now to have her go to bed. But I'm jumping the gun. Going to Boya. So now we have all of this is happening. We are trying to make sure, of course, that in all of the structure that we put, the fun part of it is not forgotten. Like you hear us laughing there, you can tell we're laughing at stuff that we know inside jokes and things like that. We make sure that that is there because that is the glue that holds the group together first before we start doing things like now that we're structured. There's registration fee to pay. You do the solidarity thing. If you wish to contribute towards things, that is just benevolence saying, hey, just show some support. But really, I don't know whether you want to continue from where you were before you left off. You're talking about the enjoyment.
The enjoyment in Boya just blasted my phone and got me offline for a second. But I mean, I went to Boya, Hotel St. Clair. I mean, everybody in Boya came out. It was so great. People I don't even remember meeting them in Cast. Right. And we reconnected as if we've known each other for a lifetime. Right. I mean, the food was fabulous. The drinks, oh my God, wine all the way from Italy until Peter Mina. I mean, you are just awesome. He brought out the best. The chefs were dancing. I mean, the chauffeurs that were there, everybody, it was just awesome. Right. And then we went to Bamenda. We got to Bamenda just at the nick of time when the group had left because we got there later than expected and late at night. But again, I had two of my friends with me. We spent a whole week at the orphanage. That was just like a blessing.
And that's in Bambui.
Yes, in Bambui, all the way in Bambui at the orphanage. We stayed indoors for a whole week and we just like had so much fun. Actually had my birthday party over there. The funds came over and then leaving Bamenda, we went to Yaoundé. Oh my God, Robbie Sama and Honorable Seron, they put a big party together. Am I not lucky or what? I mean, I had an awesome time.
You are a star.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That automatically makes you worthy of all of that. Trust me.
Yes. Yes. And it's just about being a star. I think when I was even in Bambili, I didn't get this attention like I'm getting now. So I like this part of it.
What could we have done then? The most they will do is take it to sport bar and buy the same one bottle of Fanta and we all share it and sip from it. We don't have any resources there. But now everybody can afford to actually give somebody the whole red carpet treatment because now we're meeting at the time when we can't do that. My own experience at St. Clair, he wasn't there, he wasn't around. But when I called, he had the staff come and serve us like royalty. You just mentioning that name, Cast 81 stars. It's a passport to a lot of things. I can tell you that. And so not to make the people envious, but then that's just the truth because the group is really, really special. And it has done some interesting, two main things. I want to start first of all with the person that we call Becky Balls. Oh. I don't know what year she started doing the work she was doing in Bambili. The Balls as in frying puff. So I do not know what year. She was there before we got there. She was there after we left too, but I don't know the exact span. But people remember her, and I'm going to turn the whole Becky Balls the chat over to Lord Andy because he was instrumental in making it happen.
Right. Becky Balls. I mean, we call her Becky Balls. That's a lady called Rebecca. She used to sell fries, a particular fry we call puff puff in Cameroon.
Mhm.
So she used to sell these, and the idea was just to make a living for her two young children.
Mhm.
So what I noticed was when I came to Bambili, Cas Bambili, she was already selling those balls or puff puffs, as they call them.
Mhm.
And I really did feel for her because I used to have like roommates who used to come back and say, oh, today I was able to steal 5 of her fries. Today I was able to steal 10. And they were really happy. I mean, these were young boys. They were just doing mischievous things. But I used to cry, I was so emotional. I'm like, this is a young girl who is trying to earn a living to look after her children. And these boys are so proud. Sometimes it was like a competition who will steal more than the other,
Okay,
and that really hurt me. So I made a promise to myself at Bambili. I said, when I'm grown up and I'm rich, I'll come back to Bambili and if she's still there, I'll give her some money and say, well, this is not a lot, but it will compensate you for all what had been stolen from you. And for some reason, I'll tell almost every year since we left Bambili, this thing has always been on my mind. Always been on my mind, always been on my mind. So a couple of months back, I wrote something on the WhatsApp group. I said, all those boys who stole fries from her, I'm going to name them in our Lavua. Lavua was like a gossip newspaper we used to do at Cas Bambili. And then I said, these boys have to put some money together so that we pay this woman back. So I got one of our stars in Kumba, George Quent. He said, my brother, if you can do that, if you can do something, that would be wonderful. I said, no, that's something that's already been there to me. Even if nobody contributes, I'm going to give her maybe $1 million or $500,000 or whatever. So I decided that we should start this drive for it. It was just like a private, personal charity that I started. But it was so amazing. Within 2 days, about 15 people already pledged contributions. How? It was amazing, amazing, amazing. And even the amount of money, I mean, my target was about 500,000, but it went way, 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 way beyond that. So that's how that came about.
Yes. Trying to go back and that amount of money, just to complete the story, was delivered to her. So Mr. Minian can go ahead and just complete because he was there for the actual delivery.
Exactly.
What's our reaction?
When Andy launched that drive, I was not thinking about it every year like Andy, but I know that we know what we did with that lady. We stole her puff puff. we had to compensate. So when I went to the house, first she wasn't expecting it because we paid a visit and we wanted to see her just to know how she's doing. But I told her we're going to come back now that we've seen her. But she wasn't expecting anything. And we showed up that Sunday with that large envelope. I think it was $1,034,000, for her. And I know it has changed her life a lot. She texted me, the daughter texted me like 2 days ago just to check with me and wish the group well. So I mean, it's awesome. I'm glad to be a star. I'm really, really glad to be a star.
Definitely proud.
Yes.
I think one of the things that really intrigued me was when you went there, Peter, you asked her a question that, did they steal any of your puff? He said, yeah. She just smiled. I mean, that smile is what I wanted to see, because we used to make fun of her when she was in Bambili. She was young. I think she was only about maybe 24, 25 years or thereabouts. She was not really that old, So we used to say, like, young boys would try to see if you can chat her up and she'll just smile, And I saw that smile. And when she was asked, was there a time that you found out that some of your fries were stolen? She said, well, sometimes. She just smiled over it. It's like it didn't bother her.
No.
It just didn't bother her,
And that is the thing, a lesson learned there, you do good. She knew, I'm sure she knew. But you do good and you don't count the cost and then it comes back.
It was.
No matter how many years afterwards, it has come back. You've gotten repaid for your kindness that you showed to students for whom that was really just a treat.
It was a wonderful service that she did provide to us, because I remember there was, I had a friend when I was in the lower shift, she was in upper shift. She was really sick. She hadn't eaten anything for 2 days. So she saw me in front of my dormitory and beckoned unto me. So I went to her, I said, honey, I don't know if you have any money, just get me some fries from Becky, just ask if she has any pepper, you know. So what I'm saying, so I went there and got some for her. I took it back to her and she ate that pepper and she felt really, really good. Okay, if she had gone to the refectory, she would not have got that pepper.
Number one.
And the time that she was asking for that food, it was the time that she couldn't even walk to the refectory.
Right.
You see. So no amount of bread, no amount of cabin biscuit would have helped her, but she wanted those fries and some pepper to go with it. You see. So when you look at this, Becky provided us a wonderful service. That's just one story. We don't know other people's
stories.
Yeah.
On top of which, if she had gone to the refectory there, you know you have to dump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You wouldn't even get the pepper. She wanted pepper. Pepper was what she really wanted, you know.
Yes, and if you're good, you know, it was not the thing. How can you just eat all your food? Even if you're hungry, like the idea was supposed to eat only sparingly and go dump the rest of the food there. So she would have had enough.
She also added that one of the other students built the son a house in Yaoundé.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Built a house and gave her a key to the son.
Awesome.
Wow, that's wonderful.
He met the son by accident.
Right.
And when they were starting, and he said, "Who is your mother, Becky?" So who is Becky? He used to do puff in Cas BAMBILI. Was that your mother? And you're living under the freeway? And he built him a house.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yes, wow.
You see, that's a lesson right there. Take home lesson. Even if you don't remember anything about this show, take home lesson. Do good.
Yes.
Do good in interesting ways. What are interesting ways of paying you back?
Exactly.
No matter how long down the road it ends up taking, you get paid for it. You get paid for it. And then the other thing, of course, is the lab, the science lab there in BAMBILI. There was a time when the video went around with those horrible photos, pictures from BAMBILI, and everybody who had ever been to Ccast, as from as far back as 1970, I don't know what, was like, oh wow, this is terrible, hard to see, just and everything. One or two people did something about it. Others just said, where, which is kind of what we tend to do, and then nothing followed. But this special group, but before you think it's only we just only do wine and chicken and parties and things. You've already heard now about what we do for our classmates behind the scenes. You've heard what we did for Becky Balls. Now, what did we do about the school itself? I don't know who wants to take that part. I'm thinking Mr. Mina, who's right there on the ground. What has happened so far?
Well, I must say that I am proud to be a star. If there's one thing that we have achieved is the Ccast laboratory, chemistry lab that we renovated. I mean, the pictures of the dilapidated nature of that place was all over the internet.
Right.
When we found that place, when we went there, we weren't sure how the students actually learn in under such environment, such conditions. But I was influenced to come in and be part of that project by Joso, our famous Joso. Man, that is one of the project that as a Ccast 81 star, you should be proud of yourself. Because right now, everybody, we were at the D60th.
Right.
Somebody walked up to me to talk. Somebody walked up to me to talk about that project that we did for Ccast.
Right. And
so
exactly. Keep going.
Yes. So we took that project. The contributions was just, I mean, it was just coming. You guys did, or we say we did awesome. We contributed such huge sum. We renovated the chemistry lab, and then Jackie Pacha also helped get us some money for equipment. I think that was 7.5 million. I mean, it's something we should be proud of.
Very.
So thank you all that you guys know how to work hard and you guys know how to party hard as well. You know, so.
And if you don't mind, I can try to find some photos so people can see what it is that we're talking about. I think I pulled some up. Let me share my screen here if you don't mind. Okay. Right here should be, let me see. Okay. So can you see by what I'm sharing there?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the dilapidated thing. This is what it looks like here, if you can see. That's supposed to be a sink right there and some other ones right there, really looking decrepit and miserable. I should be going in this direction. Okay, let's see now. Okay, there is somehow another part of the thing. I can't even tell what that is supposed to be. Those of you who are into, who do the chemistry, I do not know what that was supposed to be.
That looks like a broken sink because you can see the salt.
The plumbing thing at the bottom there. That's what it looked like before. Yeah, this looks like it will give you a disease or two.
Oh, definitely.
Just standing there, just walking by it even. Look at that. At the misery of it. Yeah, it was a mess, a hot mess. That's supposed to be what the periodic table hanging there.
Yeah, we use that. We use something like that. I think that's what we use when we're there.
So that'll be the 40-year-old periodic table sitting right there.
Like, yeah.
And then now we came in, look at the difference. Look at what the cast 81 to 83 stars were able to achieve. It doesn't look like it's the same place at all. Look at it. Look at the place, a place that you'd want to be, a place that would inspire anybody that goes to there to dream and dream about being somebody down the road. At least that, you know, very huge difference. All done by the group. Look at the floors, look at the shelves and everything. And there's some more of it just renovated. I think that's pretty much, and this is not all of the pictures, there's better views, and there were even videos. I just happened to not have that collection, but I wanted to give everybody an idea, a brief idea of what things were like. So where are we with this? Are we going to, is there going to be a time, we haven't handed over this officially to the school, or has that been taken care of? Okay, let me ask. Okay, that's Mr. Minang right there, who knows the most about it. So we haven't done an official handing over yet, or have we? I think he froze again.
Maybe Annie should answer that.
Yeah, Annie, go ahead and take that, because
no, we haven't done an official handing over, because it was debated at length, and I think it felt that the new executive should do that. So that's still on the cards to be done. We'll have to look at the program for that.
Okay.
I think Peter is back now.
Yes, he is. So he was having some technical difficulties.
Yes.
He's back with us now.
All right. I missed quite a bit.
No, not much. We're just asking about the fact that, okay, I showed the pictures and everybody. I think what's going to happen now is you're on in two devices. You're going to have to pick.
Let me
in two places, Mr. President.
Right.
let me pick one.
Right.
Pick the one that is smiling.
Yes.
All right. I'll pick this one.
Yes. Yes. So let me try to get you out of the other one then, or can you just log out of it? Let
All right.
Here I can. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. Let me just do the remove thing.
All right.
I don't want to report you to Zoom. You're not completely addicted. I'm going to remove you in peace. There you
Exactly.
go. Okay. Because I don't want to report you to Zoom. Far be it from me to do that. So we're talking about that has been renovated, but there's not been an official handing over ceremony just yet. I think it's where we stopped. But the plans are in the works, right? To finally officially go turn things over to the principal and everything. Am I right?
Yes, you are correct. We are working on going there to do the handing over ceremony, but the security situation in Bambila is making it difficult for us to choose a date. What they are telling us that we should be patient until they tell us when it's safe for us to come.
All right then. But I think that the students are able to benefit from it or from the things already, right?
Oh yes, it's like a freeway before inauguration. We start to use it. So
correct. And
yes,
then when the day comes, you sweep and mop everything and put a nice little yellow ribbon there for somebody to come and cut the scissors. But
you got it. You got it.
But
actually, I've seen a video where students are actually working in the laboratory.
Thank God.
It is amazing, amazing to see.
Wow.
Amazing. I don't know if you've seen it, President. Have you seen it?
No, well, I've not seen it. Can you put?
Yeah. Okay. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it from Matt Tezok. I got it
Oh.
from Mark.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, so
That's-
it's,
that-
it's
I'm gonna share
amazing.
that to the group. Share that, all of us
I
will
think
love to
share,
see
share,
it.
Yeah.
share in the group.
Yeah, okay. If I'll find it and share. If I don't get it, I'll ask Tess of this resend to me.
All right.
Because
that'll be
even psychologically, that is a boost right there.
Yeah.
To go and work
Exactly.
in a place that looked like that thing that we saw there before.
Honestly.
How am I going to-
Well, you're very kind. You didn't really show some of the photographs. If you show the photographs of what we call the retort stand,
I
you
tell
know,
you,
if you see the amount of rust on
I
that,
tell you,
it's
Exactly.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at even
Yes.
the clamps. I
right?
wonder
Thanks.
how somebody's child would touch that stuff. And
Yeah.
then maybe they go and eat some balls later on without even washing their hands properly. Look
Yes.
at this thing. See how rusted it was. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So yes, so that's what this group has been able to do, and we might as well take the opportunity to call on the other groups, come together, get together. Yes, party,
Exactly.
be happy with the unite.
Exactly.
Then do something concrete to make a difference in somebody else's life. There's a child there now who tomorrow will be a wonderful scientist, and that's probably where their
Inspiration.
that's exactly right. Where it all has started for them.
I mean, saying
So-
that, not to cut you, Egwe, saying that, when you look at that database, there are about 80 people there,
Mhm,
okay? There are about like at least 20 doctors, medical doctors there.
mhm.
You understand? That just gives you an idea. But if you want to look at everybody who works in the medical field, there are even more. You see,
Exactly.
and they
Right.
all went through that laboratory. Okay,
Right.
so you have engineers, you have all sorts of people who went through that university, that laboratory.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
of
it
course,
was
chemistry was the main. Chemistry is
Yeah.
the common science subject, which was one of the reasons why that was an easy win, because then everybody in sciences would benefit from those refurbishment works.
Exactly.
Exactly, and that is a wonderful thing. And so the reason why we're having this show now in October is because October is special for us. In Bambili, we know that was the time when the whole disco boom will be coming along, and everybody's trying to find somebody that they can go to the party with and all of that stuff. And some people are getting racketed, others are getting and all of that stuff and the good old stuff. So that's why we happen to do this also in October. So last year, October 2021 was Yaoundé. Where is it going to happen this year? The 41st anniversary is going to happen where this year? Where are we going?
It's happening in Boya, and I think the president should talk about that because
He
that
is
is his
right there.
thing. Yeah.
I'm so glad you asked me to talk about it, because there's going to be no other place in the world but Boya weekend, 21st to the 23rd of October.
There you go.
Let me tell you, the region, Southwest and Liberal, they are doing everything to make sure that weekend is one to live, to talk about. Okay? Those of you who will not be able to make it,
Too bad.
man, it's going to be Yaoundé times 10.
right here, it says there's only
On this topic, the guys are so kind that some of them are doing their first and foremost, they are doing the welcome dinner. They're taking charge of it, all the finance, they are taking care of that. But some of them are contributing in that region, and they are also contributing to the general fund same time. So you can know how far they want this thing to be successful, how much they want it, how far they want it to go. So guys, really, I can't wait. People are waiting.
The excitement is building up on the forum. There you see that there's a list going on right now about who's attending and how many people are you bringing with you. So that is there for those of us who are not going to be able to make it to Boya. We are really, really, really feeling bad about not being able to be there physically, but we are counting on the Zoom again to be able to participate virtually. Because last time that's what we did. I sat there I had gone to attend the funeral in Georgia that same day, and I came back kind of like feeling a little low at the time, and then linked onto that thing, and that talked about their sorrows disappearing, because it was just so much fun to see how happy everybody was there, and I was sitting there and dancing away in my seat as I was watching. And so that's kind of what we know, that's the kind of ambience that we can expect to see again in Boya this time for the 41st anniversary. And that list, anytime I go and check, somebody else has added their name and that they'll be coming with somebody else along with them too. So I think it was at the right now looking at some 80 people because of the people and their partners who are coming there. And there's still 2 weeks to go, right?
Oh yes,
and so that list I know is going to get even longer by that time.
Exactly.
Right. So do you want to mention? Sorry.
People see others who are coming, they think, oh, okay, my name is down for that.
Exactly.
And that's what I was going to add. When the VP's name as coming,
exactly.
People call me privately. I'm telling you. That
yes. So this is what is going to happen, coming from the UK, from Europe, coming from the United States, and then coming from all over Cameroon to go to that place to actually have to commemorate this whole thing. That just tells you how seriously people are taking it. Even here, and he mentioned regions. That's another thing we forgot to mention about the fact that they are actually regions. So this is being hosted by the Southwest and Littoral region, right?
Yes.
They come together as a pack. And then there's the Northwest that has its own region. Then there's Sunday, that's its own region.
The center.
Then, yes. And then there's we have Port Harcourt in the house. We have Nigeria. And what is the rest of that region? Nigeria and what else? And what other? And West Africa?
And West Africa, yes.
And West Africa.
Yeah.
What else do we have besides in Africa? Or do we have anything? That's it. No, don't we have is that the group we have put even Mani in? Because she is in Burundi. She's in Rwanda now, right?
Yes, in Rwanda now, yeah.
So and there's somebody in Senegal. I'm talking about all of these countries, the people actually living there, but part of this group that we're talking about. We're not even kidding. So they have found groups to belong to. Maybe they affiliate themselves with the closest group to them. And there's even in North America too, out here, Canada and the United States, and anybody else who may be in North America. We have our own little group here, and the target is that by next year, we should be able to do our own celebration here too, and actually make it a big thing where it can be the reverse flow. People coming from Africa, from Europe to come and join us here. Just this morning, I was having a side chat with somebody from there who is in Canada, Achankeng, and we're talking about Makosa and everything. He says nobody can beat him on the dance floor. I said, Papa, come. We'll have that.
Wow,
we're going to organize that thing. And the target for me is 2023 to start planning ahead. If you think about it now, start planning ahead. Find a central location. Have all of us who are here commit to coming to that one place to just have fun. Look, let's be serious. Let's look at face it. They say 70 is what the Bible says. Most of us are 10 years away from 70. Let's be frank. And then there are no guarantees that you'll even make it to the 10 to start with. We have just seen that and mentioned about our president original president was there but it's not here with us anymore. Nobody needs any reminders. Yes, you have to work hard. Yes, you have to put food on the table. Yes, you have to take care of wife and children and parents or aunties and uncles that you have left. But yes, you have to enjoy your own self too. Do some stuff that makes that just is good for your heart and good for your soul.
Yeah. Make happy memories.
These are friends that you had from way back when you didn't have a thing. They were not your friends because you had anything to really give them, because you did not. Because you see, Relis was saying, oh, they're not even the way I was when I was living in Bambili compared to now. And as I was saying, what did you want them to give? What did you want them to give you? What do they call it? A protector?
To give me balls for fun.
That would have been, but we had
bong.
I'm even afraid to talk to you.
The most they would have done is take you to sport bar and buy you that toxic truck.
Who wants to even know that they went to sport bar? We're going and hiding.
Yeah, because you don't want Mr. Mbu to catch you. And the thing is that it would have been a terrible. You know how you look back at those things. My goodness, can you imagine what your parents would have felt if they actually sent you home and they said because you were in a bar dancing
in a bar?
The way it sounds. The way it sounds more terrible than it really was, because it really wasn't that. It really was this place where you went to there, got this Fanta, whatever, you bring your 25 francs, I bring my 25 francs, you bring your 25 francs, you buy that one bottle of top pamplemousse, put it on the, you take a sip, I take a sip, you take a sip too. And then they put that record there, Agindo last way, you're sitting there, and that's Agio. And dancing away there, and then they say, Mr. Mbu is headed to the dormitories, to the halls, to go take attend. And so you hold the shoes in your hand, and you go through that dust like a Speedy Gonzales.
Good old days.
And get back there, and just with all of this little lipstick or whatever you have on your face, and your eyes are shut there, and he comes and shines his flashlight on your face. He knows that that's not how you went to bed. That's not how you went to bed with all that lipstick and stuff, but what can he do? What can he say? And so it was just one of those things which I cannot imagine if I was ever caught one day and she said, and I had to go home, and your crime would have been, was at a bar dancing. That should have sent my parents to their grave instantly. But the thing is, it wasn't really quite that. It was just a place to just go have fun. You just walk to
Hang out.
Yeah, and just dance and dance. And that's the kind of music that we still cherish till today. Those are the friendships. You look at the person who is now a minister of government. They would play this reggae there, and then he's spinning, dancing over there. You see, all of them. There who are all of these proprietors of hotels now, who run orphanages, who are the top in their schools, professors and things, engineers and stuff. That's where they all were, with the coffee brown pants and the light blue shirt. That was the beginnings for them. And those are the friends you can never, ever forget, or you should never, ever forget, who were your friends for friendship's sake, no strings attached. Now you can afford to say, hey, come and stay the night at my house, and all of these things, and all of these comforts. But and then they know you say, don't even need to do any false pretenses. Who are you pretending to? They know your humble beginnings, and they appreciate you for who you are. And that's why this is an amazing thing, this Class 81, 83 Stars group. I do not know at any given day, 400 messages, 500. If you don't check, in any given day, you come back the next time, it says 500 messages and things. Everybody is talking back and forth there. Videos, emojis are flying. Sometimes little bickerings, because that happens too.
Yeah,
it's part of the whole game. But everything boils down to, that's my brother, that's my sister. And it's a wonderful thing to see. So I'm very grateful to be part of it my own self. And I'm actually proud to be a member of the pack. And all of my siblings went to Ccast BAMBILI. None of them has what we have going on. None. I'm talking about even older uncles and people who also went to the school. I haven't seen any belong to a group that is halfway, 1/4 way, I don't know what other fraction, 1/10 what this group is doing. So I'm very proud, and I'm thankful to all of you who actually make it run, because it's not easy. The group runs. There is a board that year with the honorable president right there, and this whole group that sits and meets monthly, sometimes more than once a month, to look at everything, make sure the constitution is being drafted, to push things and make things work. So you had the people who belong to the group. There's nobody, small person, no day inside. So everybody is a boss in whatever that it is that they do. So come now and get everybody to now work and collaborate. It's not an easy thing. So I doff my hats off to you. And I guess I'm going to give everybody the last word. They get to say what it is that they love the most. I already did my own part. What it is that they love the most about our group, and what they would like to see go, how they'd like to see it grow in the future, if everything could work out right. Let's start with Lord Andy over there. What are your thoughts? What is your conclusion?
Well, for me, I mean, I come back to that word, camaraderie. See, last week, I rang you last week.
Yes.
And I said, what's happening to you? I haven't heard from you for a while. You understand?
Yes.
Same thing, I ring other people, or they ring me. You know, I mean,
but I did the same. I think
it's unbelievable the number of people who ring me. Right. There are some people whom the other day Kenjo rang me. Kenjo is just somebody it's a friend, we knew each other, but it just out of the blue, he said, oh, he just felt like ringing me. Right. And we had a wonderful chat. There were whilst we had cast, we never had that length of chat before.
Right.
But on this phone call, unbelievable. So for me, I'm just hoping that we stay in this sort of camaraderie. If we can get more people as we are getting now, I think that even makes a lot of sense, and let's just be there for one another.
The more the merrier, yes. And Edney, what do you have to say?
I think for me, it's been, well, there are two things. One of them is the level of tolerance that we have, which is maturity. Yeah, you tolerate other people's views. Sometimes, you know, as you said earlier, there are bickerings, but actually there's a high level of tolerance and respect, which means that we can all try and work together in the same direction. The other thing that I think has been quite interesting has been all the different little forums that have come out of the main forum because of different interests. We've tried to keep, one of the reasons why the main forum works is because we've tried to keep things like politics and, you know, contentious issues away from it. You can set up a different forum to have discussions about political issues in all parts of the world, if that's what you want. But on the whole, most people just want to have a general catch-up on the main forum. And some of us belong to the wellness forum, where we try and keep fit and stay fit, and it's been transformative to a lot of people. So that has taught me quite a lot about just our resilience and the fact that actually doesn't matter how old you are, you can always change and improve your life, your lifestyle, your body, your health, all of those things. So I think you know, the well, as really will tell you, wellness, we are for a small group, we are hugely active, and we have an honor system. You post your stats daily. How many steps have you done, or you know, all of that stuff, and it's
accountability right there.
Yeah,
you don't want to be sitting there and you're not saying anything. No, you're not coughing. So what is going on? You have
and
to
if people don't hear from you for a while, people reach out like, well, what's happening? Are you all right? You know, it's, you know, that and it's been quite interesting. I've learned quite a lot from it and benefited from it as well. So it's, for me, that's one of the highlights.
Great. And let me go to Relly before we have our president go ahead and conclude.
I think for me, it's Lord Andy said some, Edney said some already, but the love and friendship that we find in each other. I mean, just being there. Lord Andy talked about phone calls. One day I got a phone call from Edney. He just wanted to check on me. I was like, oh my God, this is like so good. And we talked for a while, you know, and, you know, life just goes on. I mean, people checking on each other, sharing sad times, good times. The amazing thing about also that is really striking for me is the compassion that we have in people. There's never been like any sad moment that you will share and you don't have friends rally around you and just give you those comforting words, or being there, especially our granddaughter that we lost in Douala. It was so compassionate, and we had stars coming in from Bamenda, from Yaoundé, just to meet with, spend time with our friends. The president himself was there, which speaks like really highly of him. And to me, those are the special moments in life that, you know that people are there. It's not just typing words on the forum, but really being there for each other. And not only the sad moments, the celebrations, surprise birthdays, birthday for children, weddings, graduations, all of those things. It really speaks volumes. Right. And on a day that you really have, there's really not a day that you don't have somebody to talk to on that forum. If you're bored, just go type something and you're going to generate a conversation. Exactly. One that you yourself will not be able to complete.
I remember the shimmy day, the shimmy.
Yeah. I mean,
all kinds of topics. I tell you, that come from
all kinds of topics.
Witchcraft, anything. It's hey, it's game. Yep.
Yeah. So all of those,
for no reason, you're talking about occasions. Yes. Sometimes you're talking about occasions, but sometimes for no reason, somebody will just come and say, this is me. Just stand there, take the picture, post it there. This is me just feeling very happy with myself today. The balance
Yep.
comment. Hey, mommy. You know why today they come and then the whole, how do they call it again? Say, you want to, this is very rushable. Very rushable.
Negotiable.
You know, and sometimes, see, maybe most of us have loving family, loving spouses, children and stuff. There's some people who don't. That is it for them. That is it for them.
Yeah.
The compliments that you get there, that's the joking and everything that happens there. For some, it may be the highlight of their day. What you go put on there, and they may actually be waking up looking forward to the, there's sometimes when you don't have enough time to actually do that, like the day, like when my brother here called me to see what's going on. I just don't have the time to go back and type the bed. I will look at the things sometimes and just laugh my lungs out, even if I don't come and say anything. Then I'm like, look at this crazy man here today. See this one. Sometimes it's even the jackery that is going on between two people. That is funny. Not even that it was the original post.
Yep.
Somebody is calling Tancho. No, why you can't put that's not even the emoji is a slap emoji or the beating on the head. How don't you laugh? I tell you, I go to work sometimes, I'm laughing. I'm driving to work because I just saw it there. I didn't get a chance to respond, but it is funny as heck. So I cannot imagine right now, I cannot imagine not having that group there. That if somebody just took it away, for example, I would miss it. I would miss it terribly. Is it everything that I see on there that I agree with or like Edney was saying? No, but you can let it slide if it's not a big deal. Or another thing, I know about it, and all of you have mentioned it, people calling somebody to the side and say, outside of the whole group, what's going on here, what's happening there? Sometimes you're there, you're going and some button got pressed and you let a long, funny message has gotten there. I'm about to say, come on, sometimes it's just for the fun of it. Somebody says, hey, Papa, what is going on in this year meeting? You know, for the fun of it. Sometimes you call the person and say, I don't think what you posted there was meant to be there. Can you go delete it? So I like that respect. In our own North America forum today, I posted the number, the people who had registered and forgot somebody's name. He said, where am I? He didn't say you threw me for bush. You see, and I had to come and say, Papa, I did not beg you. I'm so sorry. But you see, that is different from, excuse me, what is wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. Did I pay my dues, blah? What, there's some forums like that. Fire and brimstone is coming out of it. And I'm wondering, what are you in the group for if it's that animosity going on in there? But that was the politest reprimand I have ever seen. Somebody just saying, how? Then I have to come back and say, sorry, you forget, old age is happening. Let me go put the thing back and correct it. And then they go. And then another person, he even actually said to me, Achanke said, I said, I don't even think you remember me from Bambili. I said, you're going to have to send a picture so I can, before I decide that I don't remember you or not. But we started talking about Makosa, talking about things till it became that challenge. He says, you say you can dance Makosa, come and let us see how you can, how it's going to happen. That's somebody that I haven't met for sure in 41 years, who I'm not even sure I necessarily remember. But we just had a wonderful chat. I said, happy Canada, they have Thanksgiving, I think on Monday. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And that is, I find it amazing. So I'll have our president go in now and say his thoughts and then we'll close.
Oh, what do I say? I think the stars, the thing that has touched me as I look at these people is the sheer humility. We have so much great people in this group, but their humility is awesome. When we meet people, I mean, you wouldn't even know that this is an engineer, this is an architect, this is a doctor, this is a minister. You know, we are just ourselves. I remember at the Jackie Pacha's mother's event memorial, Seron, our minister, I mean, he said, hey, let's go have fun somewhere downtown. And like, you know, in other places, he would have that air of a minister on him, you know, but it's so simple, like all of us. And that's something that is making really special. One student of the 82 batch asked me, why is your batch so different? What is making you being able to pull this off that we cannot? I said, because we do not talk about who we are. We talk about how we can come together and have fun how we can help those who are in need, how we can help each other. That's why you have to forget about your position. I work for the UN, I'm a medical doctor, I have this. I would want to hear that. So that's what you must do. And that's one of the things that's helping us. And then the friendship that's amongst us, my goodness, that you guys have already highlighted all of those, so I don't have to repeat it, but there's so much friendship going on. And as the president of the group, I must make a confession. A lot of things that I do because people inbox me. A lot of people inbox me. They call me, they tell me, Presi, I think you should do this. I think you should do this. I think you should do this. And I mean, and they say it in a loving way, just wanting for us all to succeed. I mean, you cannot have this in any group, you know? So Cast 81 sounds, man, there's no other group I would like to belong than this one.
You're stuck with us.
In my other life, make sure that all these people are in the same, I need whatever we're doing. So,
you get a pass GC for
Okay,
entire cast.
okay, but I don't want any president talking about other life now. Okay, no surprises here. So we are stuck with this life, and let's live it to the fullest.
I like that. The angels, that's the voice of the angel. So, but again, I want all for the support. You know, all of you. This is the greatest team that you can ever have to work with. It makes someone's job very easy. You know, and of course, Egbe is there, highlighting us every day. So thank you also.
Yes, it's amazing how dedicated this, I cannot start to tell you now, every single member here is. You see Relinda's there and her minutes, she's sitting there, she sips her wine, she takes the notes, sips her wine, she takes the notes. She takes photos of everybody sitting there at the meeting, so you better come looking halfway decent. Before you can even blink, those notes are out there, those minutes are out there. That's what was done. And the president talks about how he gets all that. That is even a very difficult thing to filter through all of those things coming at you, to then have the perception and the judgment to pick what is right, pick what isn't right, and then let people whose advice you're not going to follow, let them off gently so they don't feel hurt. I said this, they did not follow it. It's a skill. It's a skill. The pioneer president had it, so you have it too. Obuso, God bless you with it. And
thank you.
Eddie there who says, okay, I'll be right back with a pine on that. And then it comes back and he has read, you can tell he has read every single line. I'm going, thank God. Whatever Eddie said, I just go and say, okay, yes, I concur. Because I know he has, because he has read it with a thorough, yes, well done, a fine tooth comb. I can come and say I concur. Then you have Lord Andy there who is, he's supposed to be an engineer, but is a poet, a musician, a whole ton of other things, writer and all rolled into one. Who is there drumming up the thing? He can write too. The guy can write. So drumming up support. It's an amazing melting pot of people with different skills who are glad to put their skills to the service of the common good. And so that's it. That's a class of 81, 83 in a nutshell. The four people right here have presented them well. So I hope you've heard enough, and I hope that you are inspired so that you can go do the same. If you have another, you're from a different class group from Bambili, do the same. Or another group, any other group. Learn to be civil, like we've said, tolerant, like we've said, love each other, like we've said here. It's a wonderful example to see. And so if nobody else has anything to add to this, I will go ahead and we'll call it a day. And promise that we will be back to talk about the successes again of another wonderful and amazing year, starting with the October celebration and then through the years. So I pray for the best for this group. And that's it. If nobody else has anything to add, I thank you so much for making the time, different time zones, to come talk about this. Anything else?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Onjimbo.
My pleasure. Yeah,
Okay.
Putting title, Madam.
Madam Onjimbo.
Yes.
That's her name since high school.
I guess. All right, then. Thank you so much and all the best. And rendezvous in Boya for those who are going to be there live and for those of us who are going to be watching on Zoom. For you listeners and viewers, you will see those pictures. Those videos are going to come to you there. And so I know it's going to be great. All right, then. All the best. This has been Egben B1 Bonjimbo and this wonderful panel of Cast 81 to 83 stars coming to you on Vosaworld Radio as usual. God bless you. Bye for now.